Could you briefly introduce yourself?
Briefly introduce myself? Yeah. My name is Jay. What kind of an introduction? My name is Jay Scheib. I'm a professor for music and theater arts and the director of the program in theater arts here at MIT. I direct and design plays and operas and the occasional film project. MIT is not shabby. It's a place that's crazily known for its innovation and for a sort of spirit of rebellious inventiveness. There's nothing better than that. I mean, of course, I, like everybody else, was like, whoa, but does MIT have a theater program? And in a certain respect, it's been a sort of mission of mine to make that more known in a way. You know, so MIT has gone from being, I didn't know MIT had a theater program, to hearing people say things like, oh yeah, MIT, they have a great theater program. So I teach classes, I administer the department, and I have a research portfolio. In order to get tenure, your research needs to make its way out into the universe. You need to somehow interact with your field. If and when possible, drive certain aspects of your field forward. And so that's what I do. Today is a pretty good example of what my day is like. Right? So this morning from 9 to 11 a.m. I worked on Persona. I did a site visit at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. 11:30 to 2:45, I was in a meeting with architects to develop a building on West Campus for the theater arts program. So that would be administrative, right? And then from 3 to 4:30, I was meeting with DSL, the Division of Student Life administrators, to discuss the PNG process for houses, because I'm also a housemaster. Then I met with a dance student to try to figure out a curriculum that would be specific for her. And then I ran over here to meet with you. And in 45 minutes I'll start a 3-hour class downstairs. I teach directing, acting, the occasional design class, and the occasional sort of theoretical critical theory class. This semester I have one class, and then I'm supervising a few independent studies, but I'm teaching motion theater. I think you could sort of think of it as a dance theater class, and all of the students are making productions based on Peter Pan. My approach to teaching has everything to do with attempting to introduce really difficult problems, difficult subjects, in such a way that curiosity ensues. Like when things are going really well, the students are really curious and they begin solving difficult aesthetic challenges in really unusual ways. In the directing class, for example, we're all directing the same production. We're all working actually on the same text. And the diversity of expression yielded by that one text was radically vast, because you can't fake it. You know, you can be not genius, but you can't fake it. And if you're not genius and you're trying, you're really working at it, you will get somewhere. I'm in the aesthetic business, so I work on art, and that kind of means that I deal with ambiguity on a regular basis at an institution that deals with eradicating ambiguity in most cases, right? Like ambiguity is not okay in engineering. That's what I like about MIT. It's very different from when I work in conservatories. Another thing that I kind of have enjoyed, when I introduce difficult material to people, there are a lot of students who feel like if they don't understand it, they think it's bad. And sometimes understanding is a struggle. So I like it when students say that they have learned that something is not bad just because they didn't understand it the first time. When you've made a television show, it's very hard to watch TV because you can see the seams in this sequence of images. It's producing meaning, which for a lot of us, before we start thinking about that stuff, we don't even notice. It's just fun, or it washes through us, or whatever. So I like that students walk away and they're able to see the seams in things. Like that's a really clear, like measurable, like, oh look, you learned how to read in a way. You learned how to read time-based media. It's very different from reading a book.
I know you wanted your baby to die, and you begged it to die. I know you wanted your baby to die, and you begged it to die.
Persona, the opera, opened on the 24th of October. I was originally approached by the composer. I suggested Persona, which is a film by Ingmar Bergman. Mr. Bergman said, yeah, rock on, please do it. And that was 2.5 years ago. So I wrote it. It's about getting better. It's about recovering from loss somehow. As the director, I'm kind of responsible for taking a kind of one-dimensional object, paper with words on it, and translating it into 3 dimensions, making it feel like it's living and happening in front of a live audience. I choreograph it, I collaborate on the choice of actors, I kind of provide a guiding interpretation of the text. I work out issues of design, logistics, really every aspect of presentation, right down to where the seats are. In the film Persona, the cinematic apparatus is revealed in many of the shots. We see that the film that we are watching is being filmed as we are watching it. So I figured, well, all right, I'm going to maybe try to make that little element really major. And so all of the camera equipment is right up front, kind of like right in your face. I mean, there were some challenges, especially between the acting and the singing. Because an actor and a singer has like completely different modes of understanding the world. So, kind of like drawing those two universes, those two techniques together was really interesting. It was definitely the most challenging aspect of the process. It's kind of like figuring out how to put a metallurgist across from a glass blower. They have really similar tools, the effect can kind of even look similar, but it's a completely different technique. And allowing those two techniques to line up and mesh up and then like really sync together. Not so much that it was difficult, just that it was interesting. It was an unusual surprise. I honestly could have known it theoretically, but I didn't expect it. If I'm going to say I have a style, it is to kind of gravitate toward those like bigger, more existential stories, and then just grapple with the expression. I kind of followed the same motif and goal most of my career, which is that I just try to understand what the thing is, and then I make it using as many means as I have at my disposal. Every detail becomes a means of expression because it should come into a relationship with everything that we see around us. There has to be some sort of dialogue.